From passenger to captain, rewriting your family's destiny, and through entrepreneurship, welcome to the BlackCEO Podcast, where we explore the transformative power of entrepreneurship and its ability to reshape families, communities, and legacies. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into a conversation that has the potential to change the trajectory of your life and the lives of those you love. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge the incredible individual who inspired today's discussion. Loretta Wetzel, a visionary leader, business strategist, and belief catalyst, has dedicated her life to empowering families through entrepreneurship. Her work has touched countless lives, igniting a revolution in how we approach success, family dynamics, and personal fulfillment. Loretta's insights have not only transformed businesses, but have also rekindled the flame of love and magic in families across the globe. Her impact is nothing short of extraordinary, and I'm thrilled to share her wisdom with you today.
Now, let's dive in, shall we? Imagine for a moment that you're standing at the helm of a magnificent ship. The vast ocean stretches out before you, full of possibility and adventure. The wind is at your back and the horizon beckons. How does it feel? Exhilarating, isn't it? Now, contrast that with being a passenger on someone else's ship. Sure, you might have a comfortable cabin and a nice view, but ultimately you're at the mercy of someone else's decisions, someone else's course. Which scenario would you prefer? This, my friends, is the fundamental difference between being an employee and an entrepreneur. It's the difference between writing your own story and being a character in someone else's narrative. But here's the kicker. Most of us have been conditioned to be passengers. We've been taught that success means getting good grades, landing a stable job, and climbing the corporate ladder. We've been told that entrepreneurship is risky, that it's only for a select few with special talents or connections. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's time to challenge those assumptions. It's time to grab the wheel and chart your own course. And I'm not just talking about your career. I'm talking about your entire life, your family's future, and the legacy you'll leave behind. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Another talk about entrepreneurship. Haven't we heard it all before? I get it. The word entrepreneurship has been thrown around so much it's almost lost its meaning. But stick with me, because what we're discussing today goes far beyond business plans and profit margins. This is about redefining success, rekindling the magic in our families, and creating a legacy that truly matters. Let's start with a provocative question. What if I told you that the traditional path to success, the one most of us have been following our entire lives, was actually holding you back from achieving true financial freedom and personal fulfillment? I can almost hear the collective gasp. But before you dismiss this idea, let's dive deeper. Think about it. When you work for someone else, you're essentially trading your time for money. And time, as we all know, is finite. There are only so many hours in a day, only so many days in a year. No matter how hard you work, how many hours you put in, there's a ceiling to what you can earn. But when you own and control your own business, you're no longer just trading time for money. You're creating systems, building assets, and generating value that can grow exponentially. You're no longer limited by the hours in a day, but by the scale of your vision and the effectiveness of your execution. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Starting and running a business is one of the most challenging things you can do. But here's the thing. It's also one of the most rewarding. Let me share a story that illustrates this point perfectly. Remember the Johnsons I mentioned earlier? Mr. Johnson was the epitome of corporate success. 6-figure salary, corner office, the works. From the outside, they had it all, but the reality was far different. Mr. Johnson was always working, always stressed, and barely saw his kids. Mrs. Johnson felt like a single parent, and the children were growing up without really knowing their father. They had financial security, sure, but at what cost? Then, something remarkable happened. Mrs. Johnson, feeling unfulfilled and wanting to contribute more to the family finances, decided to start a small online business selling handmade jewelry. At first, Mr. Johnson was skeptical. After all, he was the breadwinner, the successful corporate executive. What did his wife know about running a business? But as the business grew, something shifted. Mrs. Johnson was thriving. She was creative, energized, and for the first time in years, truly excited about her work. The children got involved too, helping to package orders and coming up with design ideas. Suddenly, the family had something to rally around, a shared project that brought them closer together. Mr. Johnson couldn't help but notice the change.
He saw his wife's confidence grow, saw his children's enthusiasm, and realized what he had been missing all along. In a moment of clarity, or perhaps madness, as he joked later, he decided to leave his corporate job and join his wife in the family business. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's crazy. Who leaves a stable, high-paying job for an unproven family business? But here's where it gets interesting. The transformation was nothing short of miraculous. Suddenly, they were working together, solving problems as a team. They had the flexibility to attend their children's school events, to take family vacations, to be present in ways they never could before. The business became a family project, teaching their children valuable skills and fostering a sense of shared purpose. But it wasn't just about family time. Their income, which initially took a hit when Mr. Johnson left his job, soon surpassed what he had been making in the corporate world. And the best part? It was theirs. They were building something together, creating value not just for themselves, but for their customers and their community. This story illustrates a crucial point. Entrepreneurship isn't just about making money. It's about creating a lifestyle that aligns with your values. It's about building something that brings your family closer together rather than driving you apart. Now, I could almost hear some of you protesting, but I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't have a brilliant business idea. I'm not a risk taker. And to that, I say, entrepreneurship isn't about being a certain type of person. It's about adopting a certain mindset. Loretta Wetzel, in her infinite wisdom, emphasizes that entrepreneurship is a skill that can be learned, a muscle that can be developed. It's not about being born with a silver spoon or having a groundbreaking invention. It's about seeing opportunities where others see obstacles, about being willing to step out of your comfort zone and take calculated risks. Let's break this down further. What does it really mean to have an entrepreneurial mindset? First, it's about taking ownership. In every situation, ask yourself, how can I add value here? How can I solve this problem? This applies whether you're running your own business or working for someone else. The entrepreneurial mindset is about being proactive, not reactive. Second, it's about continuous learning. The world is changing at an unprecedented pace. The skills that are valuable today might be obsolete tomorrow. Entrepreneurs understand this and are always looking to expand their knowledge and skills. Third, it's about resilience. Failure is not the opposite of success in entrepreneurship. It's a stepping stone. Every setback is a lesson. Every obstacle an opportunity to grow stronger. Let me share another story that drives this point home. Meet Sarah, a single mother of two who had always dreamed of starting her own business but never felt she had the time or resources to do so. She was working 2 jobs just to make ends meet, and the idea of entrepreneurship seemed like a distant fantasy. But Sarah had a passion for cooking, particularly for creating healthy, delicious meals on a budget. One day, almost on a whim, she started a blog sharing her recipes and meal planning tips. At first, it was just a hobby, something she did in the few spare moments she had between work and taking care of her kids. But slowly, something started to happen. Her blog began to gain traction. People were drawn to her authentic voice, her practical advice, and her delicious, budget-friendly recipes. Encouraged by the response, Sarah decided to create a simple ebook with her best recipes and meal planning strategies. To her surprise, the ebook sold well, really well. For the first time, Sarah saw the potential of turning her passion into a business. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Her first attempt at creating an online course flopped. The tech issues were a nightmare, and she felt like she was in way over her head. This is where many would have given up. But Sarah, embracing the entrepreneurial mindset, saw this as a learning opportunity. She reached out to her audience, asked for feedback, and used the experience to create an even better course. Fast forward 2 years, and Sarah's blog has turned into a thriving business. She offers courses, coaching, and even a meal planning app. She's been able to quit her second job and is making more than she ever did working for someone else. But more importantly, she's doing work she loves, making a difference in people's lives, and showing her children what's possible when you pursue your passions. This story illustrates a crucial point. Entrepreneurship isn't just for a select few. It's for anyone willing to take that first step, to see the potential in their skills and passions, and to persevere through the inevitable challenges. But here's where it gets really interesting. The impact of entrepreneurship goes far beyond the individual. When you start a business, you're not just changing your own life. You're creating a ripple effect that can transform your family, your community, and even future generations. Think about it. When you run your own business, you're not just earning an income, you're building an asset that can be passed down to your children. You're teaching them valuable skills, financial literacy, problem solving, perseverance that will serve them well regardless of the path they choose. Moreover, successful entrepreneurs often become pillars of their communities. They create jobs, mentor others, and contribute to the local causes. They become living examples of what's possible, inspiring others to dream bigger and reach higher. This is the true power of entrepreneurship. It's not just about making money, it's about creating value, solving problems, and leaving the world a little better than you found it. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This all sounds great, but I'm not in a position to quit my job and start a business. And that's okay. Entrepreneurship isn't an all or nothing proposition, it's a spectrum. And there are many ways to incorporate entrepreneurial thinking into your life. Maybe you start a side hustle while keeping your day job. Maybe you look for ways to innovate within your current role. Maybe you invest in learning new skills that could lead to entrepreneurial opportunities down the road. The key is to start thinking like an owner, not just an employee. Ask yourself, if this were my business, what would I do differently? How could I create more value? How could I solve problems more effectively? This shift in mindset is powerful. It can transform not just your career, but every aspect of your life. It can change how you approach your finances, your relationships, even your health and personal growth. But perhaps the most profound impact of embracing entrepreneurship is on our families. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, it's all too easy for families to drift apart. We're busy with work, school, activities, and before we know it, years have passed and we've missed out on precious moments with our loved ones. Entrepreneurship, when approached with intention, can be the antidote to this modern malaise. It can create opportunities for families to work together, to learn together, to dream together. It can provide the flexibility to be present for the moments that matter most. Imagine being able to attend your child's school play without having to ask for time off. Imagine being able to take a family vacation without constantly checking your work email. Imagine being able to teach your children about business, finance, and perseverance, not through lectures, but through lived experience. This is the kind of freedom and impact that entrepreneurship can provide. It's not just about making a living, it's about designing a life. But let's be real for a moment. The path of entrepreneurship isn't always smooth. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. There will be times when you question whether you made the right choice, times when the easier path of traditional employment seems tempting. In these moments, it's crucial to remember why you started this journey in the first place. It's not just about the money or the freedom. It's about creating a legacy, about setting an example for your children, about making a difference in the world. It's about being the captain of your own ship, charting your own course, and taking your family on an adventure of a lifetime. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge. For the next 30 days, I want you to do 3 things. First, start each day by looking in the mirror and saying, I am worthy, I am capable, I am enough. This simple act of self-affirmation can be transformative, building the self-belief that is crucial for entrepreneurial success. Second, identify one area of your life where you can apply entrepreneurial thinking. It could be in your job, your hobbies, or your family life. How can you take more ownership, create more value, or solve a problem in a new way? Finally, make a conscious effort to create at least one positive, magical moment with your loved ones each day. It doesn't have to be big. It could be as simple as a heartfelt conversation, a shared laugh, or a moment of undivided attention. Remember, these are the moments that truly matter, the ones that create the legacy we leave behind. As you embark on this journey, remember the wisdom of Loretta Wetzel. Remember that entrepreneurship is not just about business. It's about bringing love and magic back to our families. It's about creating a life of purpose, fulfillment, and impact. The path of entrepreneurship isn't always easy, but it's infinitely rewarding. It's a path that can lead not just to financial freedom, but to a life rich in experiences, relationships, and personal growth.
So I ask you, are you ready to take control of your ship? Are you ready to chart a course towards a life of purpose, fulfillment, and abundance? Are you ready to bring love and magic back to your family through the vehicle of entrepreneurship? The journey starts with a single step. It starts with a decision to no longer be a passenger in your own life, but to take the helm and become the captain of your destiny. Remember, you have within you everything you need to succeed. You have the power to create the life you dream of, to build a legacy that will outlast you, and to bring more love and magic into the world. The only question is, what will you do with that power? As you leave here today, I challenge you to see yourself not as you are, but as you could be. See your family not as it is, but as it could become. See your future not as a foregone conclusion, but as a canvas waiting for your unique brushstrokes. Entrepreneurship is more than a career choice. It's a declaration of independence. It's a statement that you refuse to be defined by your circumstances, that you have the courage to dream big and the determination to turn those dreams into reality. So go forth and create. Go forth and innovate. Go forth and leave your mark on the world. Your journey to entrepreneurship starts now. The ship is yours to command. The horizon is yours to explore. And remember, in the words of the great Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in the world. Through entrepreneurship, you have the power to be that change for yourself, for your family, and for generations to come. Thank you.